Hello, this is the Professor 627 show. Today my special guest is Hudson.
Hi.
Hello, thanks for coming on the show.
That's okay, thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So today we're going to talk about politics. What you got to say, man?
Well, I was thinking a couple of stuff actually. I was thinking about what's happening with the government at the moment. It's quite an interesting time. I really think it is.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the same old, let's not forget. Things are rolling as always rolling. But I was just thinking about like the coalition, that's what they're calling it.
Oh, the coalition.
Yeah, but I was just thinking of some very specific stuff. I'm just generally thinking of how government works all together. And it really does, it kind of puzzles me, but doesn't puzzle me, if you know what I mean? You know them situations where certain things may come up and you think, well, that's amazing. But then when you look back historically, it's really not surprising.
Like what, for instance?
Like, for example, in 2008,
right.
I mean, where we are now, specifically where we are now to do with the economy, very specifically, starting in 2008. What they call the economic meltdown.
Right.
Right. And so, since that time, I'm only talking about this time specifically because some of the stuff I'm going to say existed before this and it's always existed.
Right.
I have no history within itself because that's forever. But I'm thinking specifically within 2008 to where we are now, 5 years on. Since then, they've created, to my understanding, 35 different work programs. There's 35 different work programs. Work programs, different work programs with different names.
Right.
It's
so
literally,
you're talking about the situation now where the government's trying to say they're trying to get jobs for people.
That's right.
But really, they're not trying to get no jobs. They're just wasting everybody's time.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one. There's 35 different ones in the whole country. And there's enough evidence to say that overall, wherever they may be working, of course, you can do anything in, something may work here, something may work there, but that doesn't make it a success. Right. The overall situation is, by certain government reports within themselves, from Home Office, from some of the top newspapers in the country, they're not working. They're not only not working, they're leaving people more unemployed.
Right.
It's one thing for something not to be working, but it's another thing for it to, as a result of that thing, the situation's getting worse.
Right, like you say, man, I hear a lot of people complaining, say they're not really trying to get jobs, and the advisors in these places now, they get £14,000
That's right.
basically to keep you unemployed.
Yes.
So it's like a government scam to keep you unemployed and basically just pretending they're trying to get people into work, or really they not, and if they can sanction you, you come off of the register and make it look like the government are bringing down unemployment, but it's all just garbage, basically.
That's right, absolutely. Now, one thing I've discovered, just sitting by myself and thinking about it, and this is a while ago, I thought, before I did any research, I thought, this can't be working, because I noticed at a certain time of the year, you always get the same statistic. Right. And this is the thing, if you look very closely, at certain months of the year, i.e. mainly maybe sort of in between March and June, sometimes maybe June to September, they say that unemployment statistics have either gone down or gone up. But it's always at the same stage of the year. And I know at the specific stages of the year when they said that, I've noticed this because I know, and I've also been involved with it, it's when they put people on work programs.
All right.
So just sitting to myself, I thought to myself, this is just without me doing anything. I just sat to myself and just common sense says, every single year, same thing all the time. You mean? And so as a result of that, I started looking into it. And when they say the statistics for unemployment have gone down, as in less people unemployed, it's when people are specifically going onto one of these 35 work programs. They're counted as employed.
Right,
yeah. When they go and this is not a genius thing. I'm not saying this is genius. I'm just saying I sat there, thought to myself and so I looked into it and there was evidence. There's loads of evidence. Let me give some briefly from some of the top newspapers.
Okay.
The Employment Related Services Association, or the ERSA,
right,
released a statement in May 2012, and they titled it "Work Program at Risk as Too Few Jobs in UK." Right. It says fresh doubts. I'll just read briefly. Fresh doubts have been raised that the work program will succeed at getting tens of thousands of unemployed people into sustainable jobs lasting at least 6 months following an early audit of the scheme since its introduction last year. The audit by the Employment Related Services Association, which represents back-to-work providers, shows a fifth of all people referred to the work program, about 66,000, have found jobs. That's the claim. However, says the Telegraph, The ESRA said it is too early to tell whether those people are still in work, a key factor of the new scheme which only pays providers by results, and raised doubts that they would be able to maintain jobs. The ERSA said there was worrying and anecdotal evidence that companies were only hiring part-time or fixed-term contract staff under the scheme for assignments lasting less than 6 months, and were unable to extend those contracts due to the economic climate. You see what's going on? That's telling me that what they're doing is, you go on the program, and then those people that are supposed to be lifted out of unemployment and get jobs, and then they bring that statistic in. Hooray! Some people have gotten jobs. But then you don't get any update to say that that job is only for 6 months. You see where they leave the story.
Right.
So you get the impression, oh, lots of people have got jobs. You get a high figure. Wow, that's a lot of improvement. And then it lasts 6 months, if even that. And then there's no comeback report. You mean, so you think it's sustainable work. What I'm saying is, this is deliberate misleading of statistics. And we know politicians are doing that. To make you think that there is hope when there actually isn't any hope. Top newspapers after top newspapers have said that not only is the economy what it is, it's getting worse. And there's constant statistics to say that it's getting worse. They've given us predictable dates to say that year after year, from 2008 up to 2013, they've given loads of statistics to say that things are getting worse. But even where we are right now in the news, they keep giving us this hope. The situation is, what I'm saying is, there are no jobs. And that's why you find people on unemployment, they're being punished for being unemployed. Because they know there's no jobs, they're introducing ever more stringent strategies to make you feel stressed, so that you'll get so fed up that you'll literally just walk out of the job center. Because they know there's no job for you to leave with. They put so much pressure on you with the timelines and deadlines they put on you to do these work programs. The plan is, and it's happening, the plan is for you to just be so stressed that you'll walk out, or almost take any jobs. Because they can't put you into any jobs. There are no sources for jobs. Even the 5-job rule that employments are supposed to advertise is just a statistic that they use to not get shut down. Companies are now pressured to maybe advertise 5 jobs a week. These jobs don't actually exist. They're in-house jobs that they just write up: clerical assistant needed, sales assistant needed. The job's not actually there. When you can find it out very quickly by phoning up first thing Monday morning, when is the best time to phone for a job, and they say, no, the job's gone. Come on, it's not gone. How is it realistic that the job is gone first thing Monday morning? If you see a job that's advertised by Friday, you say, right, I'm going to call that Monday. First thing Monday morning, the job's gone? No. You can even get some inside information where you'll find out that the job is a job that's already existing. Somebody got the job and they advertise it as though it exists, but somebody's always holding the title. So hence you pick up the phone, they say, sorry, the job's gone. What I'm saying is it's a con. They're simply just crossing their I's and dotting their T's. They're under pressure by government to advertise X amount of jobs. They advertise those jobs so that it won't come back on them. If somebody found you haven't advertised the 5 jobs you're supposed to advertise, they'll be penalized. So they advertise the jobs. What are they advertising? A job that doesn't exist. What is this? Politricks or party politics. It's tricks. And what I'm saying is there are no jobs. So you have to advertise jobs that don't actually exist. But what I'm saying is the impact that this is having on the job centre is that they're pressuring you because they know that there's no strategy for you to actually get out of it. So they're pressuring you, and that pressure is coming in ways of literally how you're, first of all, you may get pressure from the job centre advisor themselves. And then because they can't hack it anymore, they send you off to a work scheme, saying that you go and do this work scheme and they teach you how to do skills. And what they're doing is, they're saying that one size fits all, and they're putting everybody into the same bracket. Not everybody needs mock interview skills. This is patronizing to assume that people are not, especially in this economic climate. That's why I kept us within 2008 to 2013, to suggest that people are not getting jobs because they need interview skills. It's patronizing in this climate. The fact is there are no jobs. There are very qualified people that are taking underpaid jobs. Jobs that are beneath them because there are no jobs.
What you're saying is right? But what I'm also saying as well, right? We got a situation in this country now where now I got nothing against foreigners. I'm a foreigner myself, right? But what I'm trying to say, we got a situation here now where they prefer the foreigners. They prefer the East Europeans, right? So we got a situation here now in 2014. We got a lot of people coming here now from Bulgaria and from Romania now. And I know they're going to give them people the jobs because, what's happening there now? They pay them less and they tax them more.
That's right.
Right? So the system wants to pay you less but get more tax from you.
That's right.
So it's all written under the table, but they prefer them to get the job.
Yes.
So now the British-born people or the people who came in when they was 2 years old, whatever, Now we can't get a job.
That's right.
They give it all to them. And I know what's going to happen now. 2040 is going to come. The Bulgarians going to come. The Romanians going to come. And what they going to do, they going to give them welfare. They're going to give them benefit, right? Which is going to put a strain on the benefit system, right? And then they're going to say, well, there's no more welfare. There's no more benefit. So what we're going to have now, we're going to have a big problem, man. We're going to have massive civil unrest. That's what we're going to have now, right? Civil unrest. It might start a few riots here, a few riots there. It might even become a civil war. Who knows? What you gonna say about that?
Well, first of all, I want to say this is another trick again. You mustn't blame the people that are coming in necessarily,
okay?
Because you know they set up this thing so much. So I can give you a perfect example.
I'm not actually blaming.
I'm not saying you are.
I'm not actually blaming the Bulgarians and Romanians. I'm saying it's the government doing all of this.
That's right. Yeah.
Because now we in the United States of Europe now. Europe is just one place now under this globalist thing. They just ain't announced it yet. That we in the United States of Europe, but that's what it is.
Yes, it is. It is. But I mean, again, see, once again, what they're doing is again they're playing two people off against each other. You know, they want to create a situation which they have created, quite simply. You know, for people in this country to feel aggrieved and say that foreigners are taking our jobs. But the situation is, it's cheaper. If I go to get a job with a passport and they have to pay me the minimum wage, and they don't want to do that, it's easier to pay somebody who's gonna take less than that money, which makes it easier and better and cheaper for the employer to underpay someone the fare they're supposed to actually be paying them. So that's how this situation works. So if somebody from wherever, you know, if a foreigner comes in and they're gonna take the job below the minimum wage for say £3, £3.50, it's better and easier for the employer. So for me, there's no vacancy. But if and I prove this all the time. But if the right person comes along, you know, who they can underpay, there's a vacancy. But what I'm saying is the government has created this situation. It's certainly not the foreigners, and it's not even the employers. It's a government that's allowing it to exist. What is this? Politricks or party politics?
Absolutely.
Britain is for sale. That's what it is.
Britain's gone.
Britain is for sale.
Privatized.
Recently, David Cameron, our Prime Minister, said that Britain is open for business. What he meant was Britain's for sale. Britain is for sale. If you've got the right amount of money, you can buy it. And that's why this situation exists.
Absolutely.
And you see everywhere, even in areas of football where they got foreigners, and I'm not saying they should, but you're hearing people constantly complaining about foreigners. What I'm saying is if you want to complain, target your complaint towards the right person. Don't target your complaint
who is the right person?
Well, the government.
Right.
More specifically, take David Cameron. David Cameron at this moment, before him it was Tony Blair, before it was whoever, it's always the government. More specifically, the Prime Minister.
So government be the problem?
Yes.
Okay. Great interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.